Call this meeting of the Orange Township Board of Trustees to order. Today's date is March 19th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Fiscal Officer Batten, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Ringo?
Here.
Trustee Faust? Here. Trustee Knapp? Here.
Will you please all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have general announcements?
I just wanted to briefly talk about the roads levy that we're, planning to start preparing for and getting the communications out. So that'll be our next mailed-in newsletter is next month. So we're going to start getting information out on just information on what all we do in the roads department and why it's needed. So thank you. Trying to think event-wise.
I'll add two events. They're community events. The Home for the Holidays groundbreaking is going to be next Tuesday at 10 a.m. in Evans Farm on Mulberry Lane. That was a nonprofit that's partnering to give away a home for charitable purposes that's also benefiting skilled trades. And there is a Lewis Center Business Connect after hours that same day at 5:30 at Tranquility's Salt Cave in here in the township. So if you have the opportunity to come out to either of those events, please do.
I'm sorry, what day did you say it was?
Both of those are Tuesday the 25th.
What time's the after hours thing?
It starts at 5:30.
Okay.
I think that's all the events that I had the next 2 weeks. So public comment. Do we have any public comment today? All right, seeing none. Do we have any agenda changes?
I do have one. So under the consent agenda, I do have an operations purchase for the amount of $45,500, and that is from the vendor Even Flow regarding North Orange irrigation. That's all I have.
Okay. Are there any questions about the consent agenda or discussion? All right. I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes Resolution 2589, approving the electronic record of the proceedings from the zoning hearing held on March 4th, 2025, regular meeting held on March 5th, 2025, and the special meeting held on March 7th, 2025, and Resolution 2590, approving purchase orders, then and now purchase orders, and blanket purchase orders as listed.
Second.
Roll call. Trustee Knapp? Yes. Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringo?
Yes. I believe our next agenda item is our development and zoning report. Director Duffy.
Good afternoon, trustees. I will go through the hearings and meetings report, and then we do have one resolution before you to schedule a public hearing. We did have a zoning commission meeting last night, Tuesday, March 18th, here in this room at 6:30 for continued discussion on our zoning code rewrite project. We chugged along through 5 articles in our new draft zoning code, and then we continued that meeting to April 1st at 6:30 p.m. So you will see that reflected in the next zoning report. So we are looking forward to an April Fool's Day zoning hearing to continue our code discussion. We do have a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting tomorrow evening, Thursday, March 20th at 6 p.m. here in this room. There are 2 items on that evening's agenda. First is a conditional use for a sign, monument-style sign at the Cove at Evans Farm. The second is a variance application for a front yard setback for a single-family residence also in Evans Farm. We do also, it's not on this zoning report, we do have one application in for the April BZA meeting. That is a variance and conditional use for a monument sign for the Pizza Cottage. We do have a few, we have 2 hearings scheduled with the Board of Trustees. The first is Wednesday, April 2nd at 5 p.m. And that is the continuation of the Parkway Plaza project located at 79 Parkway. So again, that is Wednesday, April 2nd at 5 p.m. They have resubmitted plans to us. Those are available digitally, and I believe you all got hard copies as well. And then we do have, on Wednesday, April 23rd, at 5 PM, we have the continued hearing for the proposed dispensary at 3812 East Powell Road. They have indicated that they will be giving us updated plans for that project. They have not submitted anything as of yet, so once we do receive those, we will distribute those to all of you and put them on our Google Drive as well. The only other item on the zoning report is the hearing to be scheduled, which is for the proposed Italian sausage and pizza restaurant located at 6025 Real Timber Way. The zoning commission did recommend approval with modifications for that project with a 5-0 vote. And the resolution before you is to schedule that for a public hearing with the Board of Trustees.
Were you thinking April 16th?
That's my understanding.
Was there any public comment or any controversy at all?
I did not receive any public comment for that application, and there were no residents present at the zoning commission hearing.
Were the schools made aware of the application as well?
They were on the abutters list, yes. They did receive notification in the mail.
But the Orange Wick community was not.
Orange Wick, no, was not. They
Okay,
were outside of
but
the radius.
Because they're outside of the radius, okay.
I have to leave at 5:30 for my other job, so, where I'll be having a 5-hour zoning hearing probably. Could we start early, like at 4:30 if there's no public, or we could start at 5 if you two are gonna be here? It might only take half an hour, I mean, but
Yeah.
4:30?
Yeah, 4:30.
If we didn't have any
4:30 's fine.
public comment. I mean-
Is it after, is there a trustee meeting that day?
Yes, at 3.
Do we have any idea if that'll be a longer or a shorter one?
We can do
Set
our
it
best to do it
earlier?
in 90 minutes, yeah. I don't know.
We
yeah.
could set it at 3. I mean, if there's no public if no one is upset
No, I mean, I think
about
it's fine to do it at 4:30.
Okay, is that good?
And if the trustee meeting's not done, we'll just finish
just-
after.
Yeah, that's fine.
So 4:30?
Okay, yeah. I have a couple questions. The RCOD one, and then also the marijuana, have we started to receive any additional public comment from the community?
I have not received anything new, no.
Okay.
Oh, for which one?
I was just wondering for
both
either
of
of them,
them?
both of
Oh,
them.
okay.
We haven't received anything yet.
Yeah, I sent out emails to all the people who attended the previous hearings. Those went
Okay,
out
great.
last week. I have not
Okay.
received any replies
Okay,
as of yet.
good.
But have we received, you said they are giving new plans for the dispensary?
Yes, I have not received them yet.
Okay, but we got the plans for the grocery store.
Correct.
Right, RCD, okay.
And I haven't had a chance to look through those yet. That's my plan for next week. Have you had a chance to go through those? to see if there's-
Not a deep dive yet.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions or discussion?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2591, schedule hearing date for ZON 2501, Stuttgart's Italian Sausage Restaurant for Wednesday, April 16th at 4:30 PM.
Second? Roll call. Trustee Knapp?
Yes.
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. Thank you, Director Duffy. I believe our next agenda item is our operations report. Director Bowers.
Thank you, Mr. Ringel. The only thing you'll see on the operations report today is our annual authorization of posting the job announcements for our 3 seasonal positions. Last year it was 2, but we added a second seasonal for Public Works this year to compensate for the military leave of one of our full-time employees. So looking forward to getting these posted and hopefully filling them. It was a great experience for the township, very beneficial last year, and looking to continue it this year.
So, can you answer the consent agenda, the even flow, are we putting in irrigation
Correct,
at the
yeah.
north?
Yeah, some of the
orange soccer
infrastructure
fields?
was put in years ago.
Okay.
I don't know exactly when, but during the construction of the park. So this was finishing that. There was already a pump and lines and some stuff in the pond, so we're irrigating from the pond. This was just the complete installation of that, so we can irrigate those fields.
Which will be nice, because they were pretty dry.
Yeah,
um,
everything was very dry last year.
Very dry last year, so that'll be nice for the
Yep.
better use of the fields. Great, thanks.
Any other questions or discussion?
I have none.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2592, authorizing the posting of the job announcement for 2 seasonal Public Works labor position vacancies.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Knapp?
Yes.
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2593, authorizing the posting of the job announcement for seasonal parks, maintenance, and facilities labor position vacancy.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Knapp?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. Thank you, Director Bowers. Chief, anything to report today? All right, and our fiscal officer report.
Good afternoon, Board. We have 3 items for your approval this afternoon. The first one is our February financials. We ended the month at $28,394,673. Year-to-date revenue is at $592,841. Year-to-date expenses for the first 2 months is $2,521,814.
When do we get our property tax disbursement?
It should be coming, normally they come in March.
Okay.
I know last year we were a little late, there was I believe, a snafu up at the county. But I would anticipate that it would be coming, either the end of this month, beginning of April.
Okay. This is why we have to keep so much money kind of like
Yes.
in,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, 6 months is typically a good rule of thumb, but we definitely need a quarter. I mean, because we're almost all the way through the first quarter of 25. So yeah, we are running on our carryover. So that's why carryover balances are very important when it comes to our funding and revenue sources.
Thank you.
Any other questions about financials?
You still have to ask to have funds released early.
We could, yes. Yeah, and that may be something that we go back to. It can be a little bit of a hiccup accounting-wise. One of the reasons, always before it seemed to come in early. So it's kind of like a fine line, because you don't want to request it too soon, because if you do, and then there's nothing collected, you're not going to get much of anything. So I
So you
think
prefer not to do that now, but if we needed to, we could.
next year, I think we may look at doing that, getting those revenues a little sooner. And you can invest them, try to do the best and get as much interest on our investments as well. That's another good reason to get them a little bit sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's a fine line of not requesting it too early, because then you don't get anything.
Because you have to wait for
Yeah.
6 more months or something? Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
thanks.
yep, so that's February. Moving on, we have a couple adjustments we need to make to the 2025 permanent appropriations. The first one is a 59-cent correction to our TIF due to a rounding issue. And then the third is with regards to our oh goodness, I just had a brain, our unclaimed funds. Those monies should not be included in our appropriations, so we're gonna go ahead and just zero those out. So those are the 3 items we have this afternoon.
Those are still held by the township as a custodial account?
That is correct, yes. Yeah.
So we hold them, we just don't include them in the appropriations.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. We hold them for 5 years.
We're not spending them. so
Right,
We
yeah,
should be
yeah.
appropriating them.
Nope, that is correct.
Okay.
And after the 5 years, those funds will revert to the general fund.
Okay,
And then you'll appropriate them there.
okay.
Any other questions or discussions?
I have none.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2594, review of February bank reconciliation and financial reports.
Second?
Roll call, Trustee Knapp?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. I make a motion to approve Resolution 2595, revising and/or increasing permanent appropriations established in Resolution 24340.
Second?
Roll call, Trustee Knapp?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. I make a motion to approve Resolution 2596, revising and/or increasing permanent appropriations established in Resolution 24340.
Second?
Roll call, Trustee Knapp?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes.
Trustee Ringle?
Yes.
Could we just
Thank
back up for, thank you.
Oh, no.
Well, for Chief, could we ask him what the last couple of weeks, to give a review on the stuff that his department's been fighting and things?
Yeah, do you want
Do
to
you
share
wanna talk about, like, all the
your
things you-
Tuesday last week?
Yeah, but thank you, Fiscal Officer, but
Yeah, Tuesday, last
you had a
week
big week, a couple of weeks.
was, yeah, it was pretty busy. We had a residential fire, actually right next door here. And fortunately, the residents were not home, and our crews were able to rescue their cat and the dog. You probably saw a picture of the dog. We have actual dog masks that were able to provide O2, oxygen to the dog, so they revived the dog, and the dog was good to go. And then we did have 3 minor injuries, one of them being, could have been more. We had, the fire had burned a hole in the floor, and one of our younger individuals fell into the hole. Luckily, it was a 6-foot drop, as you can imagine. In a smoke-filled environment, we can't see any fall, whether it's 1 foot or 20 feet. It can be kind of a scare. The bigger part of that was those cans were on their, or those, I'm sorry, those individuals were on their way out, and their air was low. And then, fortunately, we had one of our firefighters, seasoned firefighters, firefighter Nathan Buskirk, who was in there with the individual. His air, his vital alert, basically, which tells you when it stops, you pretty much have very little air, probably a minute, depending on how hard you're working. Stopped, and he knew that he did not have much time to get out. He was able to pull the other firefighter out of the hole and get out before both of them ran out of air. So yeah, I talked to firefighter Buskirk, and I think a couple days later I hit him exactly what had happened, but we really appreciate the work he did. We all say that no matter what, we would be there for, if someone was possibly about to perish, or if our life's on the line. And firefighter Buskirk definitely proved that he does take this seriously. So he was willing to take his last breath trying to pull his brother out. So big kudos to him. And then we had the railroad incident, which happened. It was more Berlin. We didn't get called. We would have been mutual aid to it, but we had a train cause a grass fire after hitting some lines. It was over on Shanahan. That's why it's still closed. Liberty did get called because we were still wrapping up from the fire, but we did send the assistant chief over there to try to find out what's going on, because I heard it on the radio as I was leaving. And then thankfully we worked with the roads department because Lewis Center was going through the gates being down, so we did have roads go out there, and they helped us out to block it off so people don't get used to doing that, because we don't want something to happen in the future. And then we also got we had 3 people injured people at the hospital getting checked out. 2 of them ended up, one came back to work right away, another was off a couple days, and one has been off since, so he should be back hopefully here next.
3 firefighters, right?
Yeah, we had him at a hospital, so then we got called for a grass fire out of Battle Canyon. So it was a very interesting day, just all at once. But fortunately, everybody is doing okay. And what could have been a lot worse, fortunately, wasn't. And if you go and you look out, you still see the building standing, and that's just because of the efforts put in by not only us, but Berlin. Columbus Fire was out there, Westerville, and also Delaware EMS as medics. And normally when you have a mobile home like that, it's not standing. So the fact that it's standing shows that a lot of good things happened out there. So, but that was it.
Thanks to everyone in the whole department, especially Buskirk, for saving a life. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Administrator's report?
Yes, thank you. I have 3 items. I am going to do them one by one this time. So the first one is another TIF amendment that's in front of you today. We have notified the schools. We gave them the 2-week notice. This TIF amendment is something that we've learned recently. Having our own TIFs is kind of a new concept for us. So we learned that we can TIF existing parking lots. So when we kind of did an overall review of the township, we noticed that there were 19 parcels. Does that sounds correct? 19 parcels that were eligible to pull into this TIF that we have. So that is in front of you today. That's it.
consider each? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that will help with funding public infrastructure projects along the 23 corridor?
Yes.
Is the hope there. All right, any other questions or discussion about that resolution?
Where's that located at?
So they're kind of scattered. If you look at the backup item, I don't know if you're able to pull that up. Actually, the map should be at the bottom of that.
That's in the exhibit to the
Yeah.
resolution.
Yep, so really hard to tell in
Right
this,
there.
but
Oh,
the yellow hash is the new parcels, so it's just trying to capture some of the outlots. We're seeing a lot of projects like Big B Coffee, for instance, you know, that was built on top of a parking lot. So we wanted to catch those, and there were a few other little ones that we didn't catch in the original one, but actually Trustee Ringel helped us identify most of these parcels, so just trying to catch as much revenue source as we can with this TIF.
So it's
And,
just the parking lot, you said?
there's a couple little ones that are undeveloped, right?
BJ's Outlots.
Yeah, well, the BJ's outlots, so, yeah.
It's just the orange, what's that one at the top at Shanahan, is that,
Is that by I think that's by Dempsey Event Center, the parking
Yeah.
lot around there.
is it?
Yeah.
Or what's that little one there near the Rail Timberway?
So the orange ones are already in it.
Potentially the Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, that little yellow one?
And the two,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the stuff around it,
Okay.
because or is it literally just the lot that the.
It's just the lot, the
Okay.
parcel with the Italian restaurant. Yeah,
Okay.
we wanted to be sure that, so the TIF can only capture commercial improvement value, not residential improvement value. And we wanted to focus on sites that we knew were either likely to develop, because we've been contacted by owners about potential development on those sites, or sites that we've seen recent development on, such as some of the parking lots, Big B Coffee, Chick-fil-A going into the
Staples.
Floor and Decor parking lot, that we would be able to potentially take advantage of that increased property value from those commercial improvements to then redirect those funds to be able to support public infrastructure along those areas.
So is it the entire parking lot? Or is it just part of the parking lot? It's the whole parking lot?
For most of those parcels, it's the entire parking lot and their existing structure, but it's only the improvement value that goes into the TIF.
So the new building for Chick-fil-A, for example?
That ship is already sailed.
Oh, that,
And the two that-
that was on time. But
Yeah,
if it were to be built now?
So,
okay.
yeah, if anything is built on top of those, in the
Now, okay.
valuation of that.
I just thought the residents, if anyone watches this, might also be interested in
Yeah, and
what
the
we're
school-
talking about, like, we're
Both
keeping a parking lot, what
Olentangy
does that mean?
schools and the career centers are made whole. This
this
does not
doesn't
impact the
impact them at all.
schools.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike and Michelle, for working on that.
Yeah, that's great. Never would have thought.
Any other questions? I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2597, amending Resolution 24330, passed by the Board of Trustees on November 11th, 2024, to add parcels to the TIF.
Second?
Roll call, trustee Nab?
Yes?
Trustee Fowles?
Yes.
Trustee Ringel?
Yes.
Okay, so next item on the agenda is to potentially enter into engagement services with Bradley Payne Municipal Advisors. They, well, I guess I'll just kick it off with Heather Arling is here as a representative for that firm, and we have a brief presentation and talk about the services that they offer. And Donna and I have met with Bradley and Payne before this, and this is really in regards to financing our Station 360 project.
Good afternoon. Feel free to interrupt at any point with any questions. If you want to go to slide 4, it's probably where I'll hang out for a while. Oh, is yours out of order? It's this.
Oh, that one, that one's more towards the end.
Oh, you have the old one. Is that the old one?
Yeah.
I can check for a different version.
I saw that, Jeff.
It's okay. It'll be.
It's slide 28, Eric. Just look this.
I'll get past our clamor.
Yeah, there you go.
Not good. Okay, thank you. Okay, so municipal advisors. This was a new concept in Ohio with the exception of the state level and university level. Maybe the counties, Cuyahoga, Franklin, and Hamilton, maybe in those cities, the 3 Cs. Some of them have had some municipal advisors, but in 2014, the SEC and FINRA decided to change their regulations. So we are regulated by a lot of third-party regulatory or self-regulatory organizations at the federal level. They changed it and said, well, you underwriter in the beigeish, greenish box there in the center, you have a conflict of interest with the issuer, which is in the blue there. You don't have their best interests at heart because you want lower rates for them, but the investors that you're selling to want higher rates, and your company wants you to meet in the middle so they don't have to use their funds to purchase them if you can't find investors. So once that happened, the owner of the company, Andy Brosart, and I were at Fifth Third Bank, Fifth Third Securities at the time, and we read this G17 letter, and I said, I can't give this to anyone. This is not how we operate. And he was like, I know we don't. And I said, he gave it to someone he had worked with who was at a city near Dayton. And he said, Andy, what's this? I'm not signing this. And he was like, you have to. He said, I'm not signing this. So we started inquiring and looking around. There were no municipal advisors down in Southwest Ohio. John Payne, who started our company in 2009, he was on the underwriting side as we were for a long time leading up to starting the company. Andy reached out to him and they decided to partner up. And it has been the best change for Andy and I. It is how we operate as fiduciaries and fighting for our clients, the issuers, for the lowest rate possible. It just aligns with our morals and values, so it's been a great change for us. So in that red circle there, that shows the fiduciary duty and responsibility, and they call it the care of duty. So we are involved in the financing from the beginning to the end, not to the end of the project, because we can't help much there, but to the end of the financing and any questions the fiscal officer might have throughout or how to book anything, but I think she has some experience with that. So that's why we're here. We help organize everything from the beginning. So there's a schedule of events that goes out, distribution list. We make sure the team is the best team possible, and then when we go to market, that's kind of where we really shine. We have a quantitative analyst that knows the market inside and out. We've worked with all the underwriters. So we're a good team with them. We know where to poke and where not to poke for them to make sure it's the lowest cost of funds for the township and for the taxpayers. Any questions there?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of information, but I did want Heather to just kind of briefly, as she did, share what services she offers, and we'll get into like the scenarios and models when we get closer to understanding what the cost is gonna be. We'll probably have Heather come back when it gets more.
So is that what Heather's
definitive.
team will do, is kind of like guide us through?
Yeah, the financing options, and then they'll work with our bond counsel, which is Greg Daniels. We already have that in place, and yeah. So a little premature to figure out how we're gonna do it just yet, but we need to engage services with them as to be our municipal advisors to keep this moving.
Okay. When some other townships in the area have done projects, capital projects like this, have they also used municipal advisors?
Oh,
Is
yes.
that-
Oh, yeah. I think you,
You're required.
yeah, because you guys have done some work in Delaware County, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And with the county, and helped create their bond fund.
For who, I'm sorry?
Helped create their bond fund.
In Delaware County.
In
Delaware
Delaware
County.
County. Mhm.
Okay. So this is just us selecting them to be the team that does this? Okay.
Any questions? That was a quick high-level overview.
Okay.
Any other discussion or questions?
Yeah, we're not committing to anything further than just working with them. so.
Having advisors.
Yes, having advisors.
And in the longer presentation, it has all of our bios, like I said, are glamour shots. Andy, I think, has been doing this for 27 years, and I think I'm at 20. Zach, our analyst, is at 20 as well. So a lot of experience with all different kinds of local governments. And to be honest, my favorites are townships and schools.
Wow.
Don't tell anyone else.
Townships are the best, we know it.
I'm sure we'll take a deeper dive once we get through all of the architecture and we have a clear cost line of what the project's gonna cost. Then that's really where she'll kick it in and she'll show us our options and where we go from there and how to fund the project.
The fun part's the design and the project and everything, and then we come in and make it real serious. And about all the numbers and run through all the different scenarios that are possible, and then work towards best case, looking at revenues, where it's coming from, and what structure would work best. And then, like I said, Zach, our quantitative analyst, he really shines on pricing day. He has saved hundreds of thousands of dollars on pricing day when, say, the underwriter says, well, this is what the market wants. This is what the investors want. They want this structure, meaning they want this due on these dates, and they don't want this term bond, which is just a bunch of serial bonds, which is annual, lumped in at the end. Zach says, well, what about this? This has worked in the past few months. Would they accept this now? And he knows it, but he's being nice, you know. And so he has done some really good work on day of pricing, which is when we bring the bonds to the market and say, to the municipal bond market, we say, investors bid, and it's just like an auction, and we go with the lowest bidder.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 big days, right? Once we get the bond rating,
Yes.
that's our first one.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yep.
Do we currently have a bond rating?
No, we will go through that process.
Okay.
That will
And we-
start once we get a clear cost of construction.
Okay.
Then that's where we'll kick in at that point, and we will decide. That's when she'll present the different offerings, whether it be a public placement, voted, unvoted. And then you guys will make that decision, and we will move forward from there. And then we will,
Yes.
once we get through all that, then they will sell the bonds. I know we could, prior workings, you can even offer them to your residents, so they can have a stake in their community. That was a big thing in a prior entity I worked with. They wanted to offer those, so, yeah, it's really exciting. It seems like it's a lot. I mean, you're talking about a lot of money. But it's a really interesting process, and it'll be, yeah.
It is. So at the beginning, we come up with a plan of finance. We'll bring the options, finalize the plan of finance, and then we get the presentation together. We know what the rating agencies, which is Moody's and S&P. There's 2 other smaller ones that not many folks use. But we put a full presentation together, then send it to administration and say, how does this look? We make any changes. Then we do an actual walkthrough where we act like we're the analysts and we ask all the questions so that they have a time to practice. And then we usually do that virtually, and then we'll talk about pricing and what we'll do with pricing.
Okay.
And so this is for, like you said, the replacement fire station, and the anticipated cost right now are about 14 million, is that correct?
During the preliminary design, if we did everything and anything, it would be 14 million, yes.
And what is the cost for this? Is there a cost for this agreement?
I'm assuming it's all lumped into the
ours?
financing, yeah.
Yes, it is lumped into the financing.
Okay, so there's no additional cost?
It's called cost of issuance, yes. And since bonds are sold not at par, which would be your coupon and your yield are the same, so it's at par at 100. Right now in the market, investors, right now, past 20 years, except for the very long end, when schools go out 30 to 40 years, when they're going out to 40, that 30-year to 40-year, sometimes there's discount bonds in there. But right now, the structure is premium, so the coupon is higher than the yield, and so you have that extra money in the premium to pay for debt service later on. We also pay cost of issuance, so all the professionals, bond counsel, myself, the underwriter, and the center there, they get a fee for putting up the risk of potentially having to buy down the bonds and take them into inventory. I know I'm getting nerdy, getting bond nerdy on us. But yes, it's almost like APY, APR, when you purchase your car, kind of difference. And that's all in the final pricing reports. That'll put you to sleep.
And
but-
so by signing this, then we're going with this firm, is that correct? Right? And we feel comfortable with that? Okay. All right, I don't have any more questions.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2598, a resolution authorizing the Orange Township Board of Trustees to enter into an engagement letter with Bradley Payne LLC for municipal advisory services.
Second?
Roll call, trustee Nab?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes.
And then the last thing under administration is a sick leave transfer for our new project manager, Philip Miller, who's starting next month.
Do we know what day he starts? I mean, you do, I don't.
I
believe it's April 16th.
Okay, so mid-April, thanks.
And he's transferring his time from,
the State House.
is that what?
Capital Square Review and Advisory Board.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2599, accepting transfer of 132.17 hours of sick leave to the credit of project manager Philip Miller.
Second?
Roll call, trustee Nab?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. Do we have any other new business or old business?
We do not.
Okay, and we do have an executive session for today. So I will make a motion to approve Resolution 25-100, enter into executive session pursuant to RC 121.22G4 to review negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment. And invited to that executive session will be our fiscal officer, our administrator, legal counsel, our HR director, and our fire chief.
Second?
Roll call, trustee Nab?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes.
remember?
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-101, return to regular session.
Second. Roll call, trustee Knapp?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 25-102, authorizing the acceptance of the fact-finding report and recommendation of Philip H. Sheardon, ERB case number 24 MED 667, and authorizing the Township Administrator to execute the collective bargaining agreement.
Second?
Roll call, trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes.
Trustee Knapp?
Yes.
Is there any other business to bring before the board?
I have none.
Hearing none, I make a motion to approve Resolution 25-103, meeting adjournment.
Second. Roll call, trustee Knapp?
Yes?
Trustee Faust?
Yes?
Trustee Ringle?
Yes. Meeting adjourned.